Welcome back to The Explainer. So, when we picture India's geography, our minds usually go straight to the towering peaks of the Himalayas, right? Or maybe the vast stretches of the Thar Desert, or the massive Ganges river system. But today, we're diving into something completely different, a highly dynamic hydro landscape. We're going on a virtual tour of India's cascading giants, these awe-inspiring waterfalls that are practically hiding in plain sight.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with India's record-breaking waterfalls, then hit the northeastern Cascade Cluster, followed by the north, west, and central regions, the southern giant drops, and finally, newly recognized falls from 2024 to 2026.
Let's jump right into Section 1, India's record-breaking waterfalls, the superlatives.
1,493 feet. Let that staggering number sink in for a second. That measurement belongs to Kunchakal Falls on the Varahi River down in Karnataka. At nearly 1,500 feet, Kunchakal is officially the highest waterfall in all of India. To put that into perspective for you, it's roughly the height of the Empire State Building, except it's made entirely of rushing, cascading water. It's a monumental geological feature, and it really sets the stage for just how wild India's hydro landscape can actually be.
Now here's where we need to make a really crucial distinction. Kunchikal is the highest overall cascade, sure, but it flows down the rock face in a tiered fashion. Contrast that with Nokkalakai Falls over in Cherrapunji. Nokkalakai holds a different and honestly a much more terrifying record. It's the tallest plunge waterfall in India at 1,115 feet. That means the water literally drops straight down, completely vertical, with no rocks interrupting it for over 1,000 feet. It is this spectacular, deafening straight dive into a massive pool at the bottom. Absolutely mind-blowing.
And hey, before we wrap up our superlatives, we have got to shine a spotlight on Ranchi, over in Jharkhand. This one city is so incredibly dense with surrounding cascades, we're talking spots like Lodh, Hunjru, Dasam, and Jonha, that it literally defines its entire identity by them. It's officially known as the City of Waterfalls. It really goes to show that these aren't just isolated anomalies, you know? In some places, they completely shape the local ecosystem and vibe.
Moving right along to Section 2, the Northeastern Cascade Cluster, dense and dramatic.
When we look over at the northeast, the sheer density of these falls tightly clustered together in this one geographical pocket is just staggering. This intense concentration is totally driven by the region's famously heavy rainfall and its lush, elevated terrain. It's basically the perfect recipe for a remarkably rich hydro network.
Meghalaya alone is an absolute powerhouse of natural wonder, boasting 7 major falls. We already talked about that terrifying plunge of Nokkalakai, but it's joined by No Singithiang, which is beautifully known as the Seven Sisters, alongside Kenrim, Bishop, Sweet, Langshiang, and Elephant Falls. And right next door, Mizoram's rugged topography throws Vantong, Turahiao, and Kalhapap into the mix. It creates this deeply concentrated hub of cascading water that is just constantly sculpting the landscape.
All right, Section 3, Northwest and Central, from the Himalayas to the heartlands.
Now, you might actually expect waterfalls to kind of thin out as we move away from that rainy northeast, right? Well, geography loves a good surprise. Up in the mountainous north, you've got Aharbal and Jammu and Kashmir. Over in the east, Bihar features Kakolat. But what's truly fascinating is the west. Rajasthan, which is famously known as this dry, arid desert state, actually harbors absolute hydrogems like Gaiparnath, Drudia, Bimalat, and Meenal. It just proves you should never underestimate a landscape's ability to hide secret oases, even in unexpected climates. And Gujarat is right there too, surprising us with the Ninai and Hathni Mata Falls.
Diving right into the very heart of the country, central India proves to be this highly vibrant, rugged hub. Far from just being flat plains, Madhya Pradesh slices through the landscape with dramatic spots like Dhuandar, Pandava, and Kapildara, alongside Tinsha and Patalpani. Maharashtra boasts a huge concentration of its own, including Doskar, Vajrai, Randa, Pandavgad, and Kune. Meanwhile, Chhattisgarh features these incredibly wide, powerful roaring falls like Tirakathgar, Chittakote, Gatarani, Amritdhara, and Rakaskanda. It shows just how deeply carved and dynamic this central plateau really is.
Let's head south for Section 4, the southern giant drops, Karnataka, Kerala, and beyond.
As we travel down the peninsula, the southern states absolutely dominate when it comes to the sheer volume of famous massive waterfalls. The Western Ghats mountain range running down this coast creates these dramatic elevations that birth a huge concentration of these cascading giants. The geographical weight of hydropower totally shifts down to this southern region.
I mean, the scale here is just immense. Karnataka alone harbors an astonishing 12 major falls. That includes the record-breaking Kunchikal we discussed earlier, plus legendary spots like Jog Falls and Shavana Samudra. Andhra Pradesh is right on its heels, featuring 10 falls, including Telakona and Ethapotala. And we definitely cannot ignore Tamil Nadu and Kerala, which boast 6 major falls each, featuring deeply famous and visually stunning sites like Hoganakal, Thalayakal, Atherapilli, and Palaruvi. Without a doubt, the South is the heavy hitter when it comes to these towering drops.
Finally, Section 5, Newly Recognized Falls, the timeline from 2024 to 2026.
You know, it's easy to think of a map as a finished product, but our understanding of India's waterfalls is a living thing. It's constantly being updated with new official designations. In 2024, Jog Falls in Karnataka was freshly recognized officially as India's third highest. Then moving into 2025, the stunning multi-tiered Ethapotala Falls in Andhra Pradesh got its newly minted recognition. And bringing us right up to the very cutting edge of the data in 2026, we see the addition of the scenic Kinnarazani Falls located on the Godavari River in Telangana. Geography is an act of science, guys, and our catalog of these natural giants is just always growing.
We have covered a massive amount of ground in this explainer today, from the 1,493-foot heights of Kunchikal to the dense, wet forests of Meghalaya, and all the way out to the newly charted rapids of Telangana. India's hydro landscape is vast, it's incredibly diverse, and it is always waiting to be explored. So looking at all this, which of these cascading giants is calling your name? Which one will you visit first? Think about it and keep exploring.